Nelson, who was the mentor of my partner when we were in undergraduate school together. And Paul Nelson happened to be my mentor in poetry then. So in the early days, she was working much more in large canvases of op art, actually hybrid op art, and very colorful, and you wouldn't really get a sense of where she was headed. But coming for the first time after 4 decades and to a show that Arnaud was putting on, he put on, it was called Whole Notes, and he put on a show that was a complete revelation to me. But nonetheless, Judith always kept a sense of 3 dimensions in her work, and something that she took from childhood as making boxes with objects and 3-dimensional quality. I'm just going to read just this little tribute as a connection to Arnaud Lefebvre's gallery too, and not just to Paul Nelson, who died last February 27th. In late 2018, I received an invitation to attend artist Judy Nelson's opening, Whole Notes, at the Gallery Arnaud Lefebvre. My undergraduate mentor, Paul Nelson, Judy's husband, would be reading his own poems as a part of the program. It was the first time I had attended an event at Arnaud's gallery, and the first time I had seen Paul and Judy since 1975, when I graduated from Goddard, a small alternative education college in Vermont. In the 70s, Judy painted with stencils and a spray brush to create vibrant, inventive images with forms that appeared ever-changing and 3-dimensional, an evolution of op art that garnered praise for her shows at the Razor Gallery in New York City. But Whole Notes was entirely new to me. Do you still have the catalog? Yes. Arnaud put out this beautiful catalog that showed Whole Notes. Her art returned to natural relief, constructed of rich forms and patterns found in seaweed and beach plants in northern sea colors. For his part, Paul evoked the wonders of parodal art in France and the visceral connection between nature and the imagination of the Paleolithic image makers. He read poems from his latest book, Learning to Miss. Paul Nelson was a hunter, a fisherman, and a worshiper of the natural world. He was unflinching about portraying raw violence, death, and decay in nature. He didn't cover it up with spirituality or anthropomorphism. The gift in Paul's poetry is that he renders nature, the animal in us, in sharp, unadorned, and essential ways. This remained true even weeks before he died. Since 2018, I have learned how Arnaud turned a small art gallery into a brilliant venue for performance and cultural exchange that has evolved and enriched the lives of art lovers for over 4 decades. Paul and I corresponded often after Whole Notes, and he sent me poems and his news. While we shared concerns about our wives' health, he never revealed his own struggles with terminal illness. He sent me this last poem, Caution. Caution. Striding acres mowed last fall, breathing loose, nothing to trip on but the stubble of self. Beyond the fence, under layered boughs of spruce, dawn plays in gloom on stark things looming. Beef, sheep, and deer skulls, animals I knew, one horse chewing new grass in silence. A mouse gnawed horn, loose molars, neck bones, tossed fossils arranged by frost, sphinxy in the moss, calm as coral inklings of old husbandry, set back beyond the dew-starred barbs in shade, memento mori, almost past affinity. Blame flesh, if you will, then yield to conjure grace, kneel and weep, or stand, yell in an empty field. My friend Olivia Baes, with whom we did a program together here, she translates Taras's books and a lot of other books. She provided a translation of this poem.
Donc, avertissement par Paul Metson, traduction par Olivia Baes. Arpentant les terres fauchées, l'automne dernier, le souffle délié, rien pour y trébucher, seules les repousses de soie. Au-delà du grillage, sous les ramures en strates des épicéas, l'aube joue dans la pénombre sur les choses crues qui se profilent. Crâne de bœuf, de mouton et de cerf, bête que j'avais connue, un cheval mâchant l'herbe neuve en silence, une souris rongeait une corne, molaire déchaussée, os du cou, fossile jeté, ordonné par le gel, sphinx dans la mousse, calme comme le corail, indice d'un vieil élevage en retrait, au-delà de la constellation de rosée débarbelée en ombre, memento mori presque au-delà de toute parenté. Maudit la chair si bon te semble, puis laisse venir la grâce, à genoux, pleure, ou debout, hurle dans un champ vide.